Anyway, the Desert Bus people are going ahead, but they're doing it on Zoom.
But when are they doing it again?
November 13th, Friday
November.
it starts. Yeah.
Okay.
And they did a test version, and it's gonna be okay. It's it's not gonna be the same, but it's not gonna be a total miss of what you like or what I like.
Primarily Critical. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Primarily Critical of Movies Had an After Party. This would be it.
If you have not seen the film, we suggest that you do so before listening any further.
We got spoilers, trivia, and opinions like crazy, and we can't wait to share them.
Good, bad, new, old, weird, or gross.
We shall pass judgment upon them all.
Hooray! Martians make good robots. My name is Steve. I'm here with
Greg.
and
Christian.
today we're talking about Alita Battle Angel. And this was my pick. I picked it because, I don't know, it looked shiny and new, and it was made with lots of money. And it was on my watch list when it came out, but I hadn't gotten around to it. And I thought, well, let's just, let's bang it out, so to speak. I didn't know, spoiler alert, I didn't know it was open-ended, and I'm sorry. I didn't know it was open-ended. Of course they would make it to have a sequel. I mean, there are movie franchises that started with good, solid one. Like The Matrix was a great movie. I liked it, and it had an ending. The Terminator had a great ending, and it ended up being a franchise. They should have taken I don't know, whatever. How do you guys feel about this movie?
So you say this movie should have had a definitive ending?
I think yes, it should have.
Okay.
It did. It was the beginning or the ending, which was a new
all
beginning.
movies are like that. Even if they never managed to do it, sequels are we don't even have to think of a new idea. We're just gonna make the same movie again. We just need the actors to not get old or die.
Well, this was pretty true to the book as I understand it, which means if I really had that itch, I would go and buy the comic books.
Yeah.
Greg, how did you like the movie? Did you guys like the movie?
The movie was, it was interesting. For me, I'm not a huge Japanese anime, but I mean, because it was right, and it was I don't know, it was busy. I found it busy for me, busier than movies that I'm used to watching, right? Like what did we reviewed Dora the Explorer? That's my cartoon. No, I'm kidding. I said that just for you. I did like the movie. It was just, I kind of had to rewatch it a little bit again in chunks just to figure out, because with the warrior hunters and everyone's, I don't know. I liked it, but it was tough to follow for me.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I thought it was gonna be like a roller derby kind of movie, but it wasn't, which I appreciate because the whole Star Wars first movie ended up being a racing movie, which
yeah.
I
didn't sign up for this pod racing, and wrecked my childhood. Thank you.
I got worried when we were like Murder Ball or whatever the hell they were calling it.
Motorball, isn't it?
Motorball. I was like, oh, we're gonna do an in-movie action sequence of this stupid game that everybody's so hyped about.
I mean, sometimes. So I was just going to say, sometimes it works. Like in certain films, you get what was it? Harry Potter and the Quidditch, right? It's okay, I can relate it to this. And they try to do, what is it? Racing or, I don't know. Football or baseball and racing car kind of I don't know.
It's NASCAR with knives and roller skates.
Yeah. Yeah, but like no guns, just like
Yeah,
whatever.
but every other
Or-
fatality-inducing weapons,
Yeah.
no problem.
Well, it made me think of what's the other one there, where they go around and around on the like we play, not we play, but like us, and people dress up. It's almost like wrestling on roller skates.
Roller derby.
Roller derby, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I was like, okay, but
I definitely got my fix of cyborgs.
yes.
Cool
Yes.
shit, like, and it wasn't clear to me. Like that lady had a brain, and that brain was supposed to be inside the head of that android. When Buddy found it in the scrapyard, so that brain was 300 years old. I don't know. I mean, if they had said, okay, we transferred their consciousness to this cyborg brain, okay, you know what? I would have bought that more.
Yeah. She's been in a junkyard for 300 years. She's basically the head, skull, and spine, and then also the nuclear heart, or whatever the fuck they called it.
Yeah.
Right? She's got from, like, the rib cage up, and then she ruins her original body and gets another one, the Martian body. But she likes cute boys, which means she's got glands, and those are further down.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Glands.
Yeah. Okay. We gotta get to the what did you think of the creepy anime eyes?
I couldn't get past it. I
was just like,
big.
Don't want this.
I was really hoping that eventually I'd get comfortable with it, and it was just a stylistic choice. But at no point was I like, that's a normal face.
No, she looks weird.
She looks weird.
And it took effort to make her look weird. Like somebody took her eyes and stretched them and drew and animated them and pasted them over her face.
Yeah.
So she was a cyborg in reality too. Right, she was not a human actress. She was an actress with puppet eyes.
Yeah.
I mean, Dora the Explorer, they did not resort to that, and it was fine.
Except during the mushroom.
Well, everybody got animated that time.
Yeah.
Well, why does she have to eat? She's got a nuclear heart. Her dad, right, or her repairer.
Yeah, Dr.
Zhivago.
Yeah,
Ido.
Chop Talk.
Chop Talk. Why are people never dressed for what they're doing? He's in a scrapyard, and he's wearing loafers and a trench coat.
Yeah, but wasn't the thing that he came down from, the Promised Land, kind of?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was an Atlantean or something.
Yeah,
sort of speak.
And then him and his ex, that was the whole, I don't know, yeah. I find that because I didn't grow up with this kind of genre, right? Like, I got a buddy that's really into this stuff, the anime, and he's gone through and watched a lot of them. So, it's nothing new to him because he's been in it and watched all his films, right? So it becomes his normal, right? And I think this is maybe something that where I'm not at yet, because this is kind of one of the first that I've watched. I mean, Netflix just recently released a bunch too that we're maybe gonna go look at, some Kiki the broom service or whatever,
Kiki's delivery service.
That's it, Kiki's delivery service, but it's
I highly recommend those. Those are good, and they'll ease you in.
Okay.
Anything Miyazaki except the weird ones.
Okay.
Except the weird ones.
The weird ones. Howl's Moving Castles, pretty fucking weird. Spirited Away, pretty weird.
Yeah, that's with the big white face guy. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
And the Soot Spirits, and that one's good, but you're gonna have to watch it a couple of times because it's just gonna go whoosh. The first time. But yeah, I've watched anime. I'm not a super fan, but I like the genre. I was okay with the plot of this one. It was like it was easier to follow than Space Pirate Harlock.
Oh
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
That plot was super convoluted. This one was I don't know if it was westernized to make it easier or if it's just that it's a better plot. I just couldn't get past the anime eyes. I was not really, like a super fan. Go ahead.
No, I was just meaning that, like, with this kind sci-fi, I find there's a lot more, oh well, you time travel or you do all this other stuff, so there's a lot more kind of like, okay, I just gotta like sit back and let it happen, kind of thing. I don't need a big excuse, or this is the reason why, or this needs to make sense, so that you don't go like, what is it in the movie? I've gone cross-eyed, like that kind of stuff. So you just kind of, okay, I accept, and just get immersed
cybernetic
in
enhancements were
Yeah.
cool.
Okay,
Yeah, like
we're doing this. Let's do it.
The doctors don't carry a scalpel anymore; they carry a wrench.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was unclear how much of the population was meat and how much of the population was cyborg, or maybe because at times they drew a hard line in between, and at other times there was a lot of prosthetics flying around, and I don't know.
I did like that the whole racing, sport was corrupt, and they would give you a part, and then the very next day they would cut you apart and steal it.
Take it away, yeah.
Take it away. And the nitpick I have there is don't use your minivan for crimes, and then drive to your spaceship the next day in daylight.
Yeah.
Use a different minivan for that.
Switch it up.
At least paint it or something.
Yeah.
Your harvest wagon should be something else besides what you drive.
Your harvest wagon. Oh man.
Yeah, your crime machine, your mystery machine.
Well, they had a nice way of making us. Okay, the dog killer. Right. We had a hard time picking out who was bad and who was good sometimes in the movie, but we know that the dog killer is bad.
Yeah.
So that was nice that they gave us a reason to hate him. Particularly,
I like that there's cyber dogs too.
Yeah. Oh yes. Yeah. There was a cyber dog guy too.
There's a cyber dog handler. Yeah. He's probably had those dogs for like 400 years.
Oh, that's funny.
Just keeps rebooting them and changing out their parts.
Yeah.
What was the Jason Statham kind of creepy guy, face mix sword?
Face
I
McSword.
forget his
Okay.
name. Oh, Steve's roboting out.
Oh no. He wasn't Hugo.
Yeah, he's gone.
It wasn't Hugo. It was.
His electronic wear is crashing.
I swear, when the recording comes out, I'm not going to be blurry.
It's fine. Okay.
Romo? Is his name
So
Romo?
we'll pretend it never happened.
Zapan, was that the guy?
Zapan.
Paladin?
Zapan. I want to say Pat.
I forget his name. Anyway, he says he had Zapan. Yeah, he had a monomolecular sword.
Right.
That means the edge of the blade is one molecule wide, which means it goes between other molecules with no effort, which means you cannot carry it in a scabbard.
Oh, yeah.
And so when you draw it, it cannot make the shing noise because you would cut your scabbard in half.
Or the shing noise is your scabbard being cut in half.
Yeah.
The scabbard was specially made, and maybe it holds the hilt.
Yeah, it would have to hold the hilt in a levitation collar,
right,
so that it doesn't touch. And then when you pull it out, you cannot let the blade touch any part of it, or it'll cut it in half. Yeah, nitpicks.
I like it, sir. I like it.
And then the last one, that big fat guy, the dog killer. She crammed her hand into the wrist. Think about where that puts your hand.
Yeah.
Like wrecking the brain seems to be the end of a cyborg.
You really, it gets more and more and more brutal. Like when that guy finds the head in the garbage right at the beginning of the movie, you don't really connect it with a human being. But then later on, she punches that guy right in the face, and she loses his hand in there. And then she carries her boyfriend's head in her coat, and there's blood tubes coming out of it, and it's just. And then the dog died. It gets brutaler and brutaler and brutaler, if that's a word.
I'm not sure it is.
Worser.
Yeah, worser.
More batter.
Batter, more batter.
Anyway,
all good words.
If they had just had any attempt at an ending, like a nice little bow at the end, I would have been much happier. I mean,
it wasn't the worst thing I've watched, but I was upset that I paid for it.
Okay.
I would have been like, hey, Netflix, it cost me a dime. But this was a big high end movie, and I still had to pay, I don't know, $10 for it. I forget. I either bought it or $24.99 or some shit. Like I own it now because I didn't want to rent it.
Oh yeah.
Because the timing wise, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna have to watch this in chunks, and if I start watching it, then it'll expire before I finish it. So I bought it, and now I'm like, ugh.
You know what?
But when they finish it, it'll be fine because you'll have the first copy. You can buy the second copy. You'll be loving it.
I really want to watch is the OVA animated original. That's what I wanted to watch.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd pay $25 to watch that, but I don't know if that's possible.
Okay, so this movie would have you believe that humanity has risen to a point of awesome, and then fallen, and then risen again, and then fallen, and then there's layers of people.
Yeah, there was an underground city below when she smashed through the bar floor.
Like Iron Town?
We've also been given, I don't know if you can see it. No. And plus my handwriting is awful. We were given a year at the beginning of this movie. 2563. So I don't know if humanity could have risen, fallen, and then risen again in 500 years. Yeah?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It like everything's happening faster.
Okay.
So a rise and a fall a war and a rebuild, and a war and a rebuild could happen. But the Martian War, I mean, were the Martians Martians, or were the Martians like colonists who had gone away, become dissatisfied with the way Earth was treating them, and come back and kicked ass?
Yeah, the second one. That was my understanding anyway.
Okay. Yeah, they weren't non-humans. They were a Martian society that had split off a long time ago and then come back pissed off.
So the Expanse.
The plot of 20 other movies.
Yes. Just like the brain thing is your stack from
Altered Carbon.
Altered
right?
Carbon, yeah.
You know, that would have made more sense too. Your personality is in this chip, you know.
Instead of like an actual
not in a meat
gooey brain, yeah. But
yeah. One
in
of
a
the
garbage
villains,
can, whatever, it's fine.
Dr. Ido's wife ended up in a jar, didn't she? We could see her eyes moving around.
Sharon, yeah.
Oh my goodness. That was I didn't expect to see that.
I was happy to see how good Jennifer Connelly still looks.
Was she the Dr. Ido's ex?
I thought he was choosing his words carefully, but he's in slow motion.
Is that Dr. Ido's wife?
Don't overshare. Don't overshare. Don't overshare.
Yeah, with the little purple dot.
The dot.
Okay. Very good.
She was the eyes in the jar.
Do you want to get into this trivia?
Chiron, whatever. Yeah. Sheeran. It's been a while since I watched these.
Mm-hmm.
He's still slow motion.
Do you want to get into this trivia?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. The manga series is titled Battle Angel Alita. In 2010, producer John Landau commented, "I'm telling people that we have to call it Alita Battle Angel because Jim only does T&A movies." Jim being Jim Cameron. Most of James Cameron's movies titles begin with the letter A or a T, meaning Aliens, The Terminator, The Abyss, Avatar, True Lies, The Titanic. And so when he said T and A, he's being funny.
I thought he meant tits and
Tits
ass.
and ass, right? Which is hilarious. I would have laughed right there and then. But yeah. Anyway, next.
Director Robert Rodriguez based the second motorball sequence on NASCAR. Instead of an aerial and impossible shots, he used the physics of real cameras and placements seen in NASCAR. It includes long lenses capturing things whizzing by, as well as cameras on the track with the players to keep it as real world as possible. Okay, yeah. It was the longest sequence in the film that he worked on it about 3 years from start to finish.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah, that's long.
That's a
Just
chunk
for
of your life.
a little chunk of the movie for 3 years of your life.
Yeah.
Wow.
I hope you get to make the rest of these movies, Robert Rodriguez. You deserve
before
it.
you get old and die. The Hunter Warriors congregate in a bar called Kansas. According to Volume 8 of the manga, the scrapyard Iron City is located in the land formerly known as Kansas City, Missouri.
Yeah.
Who did his homework? Quentin Tarantino recommended Christoph Waltz to director Robert Rodriguez. Tarantino directed Waltz in 2 Oscar wins: Inglourious Bastards, Django Unchained, and he has been a longtime friend and collaborator of Rodriguez since the early 90s. Yeah, they're buddies.
Well, why did Quentin Tarantino have to recommend him to Rodriguez I see. Quentin Tarantino and Rodriguez were the buddies. I thought they were buddies with Christopher Waltz. Anyway, that's cool. Yeah, he was a pretty good doctor.
Yeah, he's done a lot of great stuff. I'm a fan of Christoph Waltz. Yeah. Well, is that Alita, gentlemen?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a nice little spicy flick. Pretty much exactly what you expect it to be, other than the open ending. And
the bullshit eyes.
And the eyes were a little. Yeah. Maybe they'll tone that down, make them less sparkly or something.
Just make them the human eyes that she's equipped with.
It's new age. It's just like back in the 80s, everyone had that wall of hair that just now people would be like, what the F? You know, but back then it was like, that's the deal.
Yeah, the blue eye makeup that goes right back to the ears.
Yeah.
I mean, they should have said like, oh, she's got special like wide angle, high light capture, super eyes, and that makes her a better battle angel. Why would you equip your battle angel with, sex doll eyes?
Ooh.
With it improves peripheral vision.
They should have said that.
Yeah, they should have said that. Yeah.
All right.
What's coming up next week?
Next week, Monday at noon, we're covering A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. Of course, we do that movie. And this is Greg's pick.
My pick.
No, is it?
Me.
Why did you pick it?
Because Tom Hanks is great and Fred Rogers was great, and I wanted to see this. Like, I've watched another one. It's called "It's You I Like." I think that's a PBS documentary. So I wanted to see like the Hollywood version of his life.
Okay. Huh. Well,
tune in next week.
I tune in next week, Monday at noon. We're going to be talking about that movie. I can't wait to talk about it, and I can't wait to see it. And yeah, primarylycritical.com. We have a freaking store. We made a movie for you. We want you to sign up for everything, and join the club. We have a Discord
server.
We have a Discord server. Yeah.
Find all those links on primarylycritical.com.
Thanks.